When we think of heroes, we usually picture warriors or conquerors. But what if the greatest hero is the one who conquers their own nafs? What if the greatest victory is the one that happens within? This is the story of the saints, the Sufis, the silent healers, the ones who walked with the world but lived for their Kira. Their deeds changed hearts and nations, but their names might have been forgotten. Today, we explore the legacies of foreign heroes. In every age, Allah sends His beloved servants not to conquer lands, but to heal hearts. Africa's soil is soaked in their footsteps. Their dika shaped deserts. Their dew is whispered over rivers. Their tears fed the spirit of Islam in the hearts of millions. Their jihads were against the whispers of the devil, not the armies of the disbelievers. So listen closely. This is the sound of their stories. Shaykh Umar al-Futi taught the jihad of the soul. In the 18th century in the Sal region of West Africa, there lived a warrior. His name resonated across the land like thunder, Umar al-Futi taught. He led armies, but his weapons were not swords. He fought the enemies of the Kira, not with bayonets, but with baraka. Born in Futa Toro, Shaykh Umar al-Futi taught was a scholar, a Sufi, and a mujahid. A master of the Tijaniya path, he taught that the greatest enemy is not the colonizer, not the oppressor, but the ego, the shaitan that sits on the shoulder, whispering doubts, fears, and falsehoods. He traveled from Senegal to Mecca and received spiritual permission in Medina. When he returned, he called Africa back to Tawheed, back to sincerity. But how do you fight an enemy that cannot be seen? With knowledge, with sincerity, with a life submitted to Allah. His army didn't loot. It planted Quran schools. He built Zaviyas where Dika never stopped. When battles came, he would retreat into Dua for nights before drawing a single sword. Victory wasn't measured in lands conquered, but hearts guided. In Shaykh Umar's gaze, the colonized could see the mirror of their own souls. For him, the greatest jihad is the one that begins in the heart. If you want to change the world, he would say, start by changing yourself. Umar al-Futi taught reminds us that true jihad is not just physical, it's spiritual. It's the constant struggle to be a better Muslim, to conquer the self, to be a beacon of light in the darkness. Like the tall baobab trees dotting the African landscape, may his legacy continue to stand strong against the winds of change. True jihad begins in the heart. Shaykh Umar al-Futi taught that victory is not in conquest, but in submission to Allah. Nana Asma'u, the mother of knowledge. Her name echoes through history like a melody. Nana Asma'u, daughter of Uthman Dan Fodio, she was not just a scholar, she was a revolution. Her reign began when her father, the great Islamic reformer Uthman Dan Fodio, passed away. Left with the responsibility of preserving her father's legacy, she stepped up. Fluent in Arabic, Hausa, Fulfud, and Tamashek, she was a poet, an orator, and a master of dawah. She wrote hundreds of poems about Allah, about the Prophet, about the purification of the soul. She understood the power of words, of poetry, of stories. Once, while on a journey, she saw an old woman struggling with a heavy load. Without hesitation, Asma approached and helped her, and as they walked together, she engaged the old woman in conversation, gently guiding her towards the path of righteousness. She believed that the heart of a nation is the heart of a woman. So she trained other women, the Yantaru, to travel to remote villages and teach Islam to mothers and daughters. They became like stars scattered across the vast sky of Africa, each twinkling with the light of knowledge. Nana Asma reminds us, women are not behind men in Islam, they are alongside them, carrying light. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, the saint in chains. Born in 1909, Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, the founder of the Mouridia order in Senegal, lived a life that was a testament to sabr, patience, faith, and steadfastness. He dedicated his life to serving his people and his religion. In a time when French colonization had cast a long shadow over Senegal, Baba, as he was affectionately known, emerged as a beacon of hope. The colonial authorities recognized the growing influence of the Sheikh and the threat it posed to their rule. They imprisoned him, exiled him, and even shackled him to a wall, sentencing him to death. But through it all, he remained steadfast in his commitment to Islam and his people. Even in the darkest days of his imprisonment, Baba continued to preach and teach, inspiring those around him with his unwavering faith and resilience. He was finally exiled to the island of Gori, the same island where many Africans had been imprisoned before being shipped off to the New World as slaves. But instead of succumbing to despair, Baba turned the island into a place of worship and learning. His followers, known as the Murids, are found not just in Senegal, but across the Sahel region of Africa and even in Europe and the Americas. To this day, his followers remember him for his unwavering commitment to Islam and his people. His legacy continues to inspire generations of Muslims to strive for justice, equality, and freedom. They chained his body, but not his soul. Sheikh Bamba shows us that resistance through dhikr is stronger than bullets. The unseen saints are the ones who walked lightly behind the Atlas Mountains of Morocco, deep in the Congo rainforest, beneath the shimmering stars of the Sahara. There lived saints whose names history hasn't recorded. They made no noise. They asked for no titles. But the land remembers them. The old woman wiped her brow, her eyes distant with age. "I remember when my grandfather passed away," she began, her voice raspy yet strong. "We buried him beneath that baobab tree. He didn't leave much behind, no grand mosque, no towering schools. But what he left in our hearts, that's our inheritance." He spoke little, but his dhikr echoed in the valleys. Ya Allah, Ya Allah, Ya Allah. It was his lullaby and his battle cry. We heard it in the rustling leaves, in the babbling brook. He walked lightly, almost silently. Some called him a magician. Others whispered he was mad. But I knew he was a wali, a friend of Allah. He carried the scent of prayer in his clothes, the taste of humility in his meals, and the touch of gentleness in his words. They healed with dua, taught with glances, and left lessons in the furrows of their fields. Their miracles weren't lightning, splitting the skies, but quiet mercies, like a whispered prayer that stills a raging storm. One saint, they say, walked barefoot from Senegal to Nigeria, not to seek fame, but to ease the suffering of a mother. Another is said to have softened the heart of a tyrant, not with force, but with a gentle smile and words that flowed like honey. But perhaps the greatest lesson they taught was this: you don't need the world to remember you to be beloved by Allah. The unseen are often the most luminous in the heavens. Reflection and DUA. As we conclude this reflection, let us pause and ponder over the profound impact these unseen heroes have had on our lives and the world around us. Though their names may not be etched in stone, their deeds have left an indelible mark on our hearts and minds. Ya Allah, make us among the healers, the ones who mend not just bodies, but also souls. Ya Allah, help us to make our work a form of worship, our hands that serve a means to earn your pleasure. Ya Allah, like Sheikh Bamba, grant us the strength to endure the hardships of life with a smile and to remain steadfast in the face of adversity. Ya Allah, like Nana Ismail, bless us with the courage to pursue knowledge and to share its light with those around us, especially the women in our communities. Ya Allah, like Shaykh Umar al-Futi, guide us to wage the greatest jihad, the one that begins in the heart, where the battles against our own nafs are fiercest. Ya Allah, help us to walk lightly on this earth, leaving footprints of kindness and whispers of dhikr in our wake. Grant us the ability to be unseen heroes ourselves, working tirelessly in your cause, seeking not fame or fortune, but the pleasure of Allah alone. As the river reflects the twinkling stars above, may our hearts, too, reflect the light of these unseen heroes. May their Zavia continue to echo with the whispers of dhikr, reminding us of the beauty of simplicity and the power of a life surrendered to Allah. Until we meet again, may Allah's peace be upon you.